What's up guys, I'm Chris Doughty aka Doughtinator. Welcome back to the channel. In this video we've got a daily race C at Lago Maggiore, worst track ever in my opinion. And kicking off in the chat right now after the race, we have Raz, who is not at all happy with Sardin on, and we're going to see a little bit more about that later in the video. Now we're going to switch the race. I'm going with the reserve driver account. Lago Maggiore is a track that I just can't get on with it. I just can't find any pace, and even more so Lago Maggiore GP2, the reverse layout, it just makes no sense at all to me. I can't get any pace from it. We're going to start with traction control on, because the start line is a long way ahead. We've got to do 2 corners and then a bit of the straight before we even get there. As the stats on screen suggest, 86% of the people watching my videos in the last 20 days have not subscribed. If you'd like to pop a subscription, that would be fantastic. All the subscriptions are appreciated. You'll also hit the bell icon. You'll get notified when new videos go live, as the Danish driver runs wide into turn 1. Really easy to do. And we're going to go racing now. The requirements for this race is both medium and soft tyres have to be used. Starting from the back of the grid, I'm deciding to go for the slower tyre to start with. While we're kind of hitting traffic in the first couple of laps, we're not going to be really get a chance to maximise the potential of the soft tyres. So although we seem to find ourselves in a bit of free space, the rolling start on this track is shocking. I think we crossed the line and we were 12 seconds behind the leader before we've even started the race. We had to do 2 corners before we begin. But Lago Maggiore track, this GP reverse is such a difficult track. There's corners where you have to really abuse the curbs. There are corners where you have to respect the curbs. There are lots of potential for track cuts. Running wide is very easy. A lot of the barriers on the outside of the track are also, they're offset in the wrong way because it's a reverse track. If we run wide there on the difficult left-hander, managed to gather it up. We didn't spin. We didn't lose too much. A bit of a wiggle to get the dirt off the tyres. Over the crest into this braking zone here, the car can go light. You can lock up. It's very difficult to get the car turned. And then we're going to go into the final section of the track. We've already driven this because we had to race this before the race even begun. But we're running in 15th position now. And also, yeah, take a look at that barrier on the left-hand side. You will be hitting that barrier. If you do any of race C this week, qualifying, time trial, or any of the race, I guarantee you'll hit the barrier at least once. I don't do it in this race, but I have done it many times before. Let me know in the comments below which is your favourite barrier to hit. In fact, generally commenting on any of my videos is always fantastic. There's a lot of people that get involved when the comments kick off. It's always superb to get involved with people and to see what goes on with these races. So as we saw earlier on, there is some controversy in this race. We're going to come to that as the race progresses. We're now starting to close in on the leader. We're only 11 seconds behind now, so we've gained 1 second. The driver in 14th just runs wide into the gravel there and gets completely stuck in the sand, and we just take avoiding action there. So that leaves us with, again, we've still got a good clear track, which is absolutely ideal for what we want to be doing. Into this S's section here, it's a very aggressive section. You've got to really commit to this one. And then this final right-hander, scrub enough speed so you don't run too far over that curb. And then into this downhill sweeping, tightening left-hand corner. It's very difficult. Our line's pretty good out that one. Penalty for a driver ahead there. So we're going to look to maybe a crash as well. So Roland is going to hang it around the outside. We can't quite make that move. A little bit of a gap. We've gone all over the curb there to avoid Roland. We're going to try and hang around the outside. We're going to back out now. Roland's going to stay in the throttle. He's going to make a massive mistake, spin across the front of us, which we avoid him, and he's completely gone into the shadow realm. That's 13th place for us now. I think we've gained a couple of positions in that one lap. So we're making good progress, and we've still got a good, clear track ahead. Although we have lost time to the leaders now with that having to take avoiding action there. First corner, turn 1 in Lago Maggiore GP2, absolute nightmare corner. Honestly, every single corner on this track is a nightmare. We're going a little bit too wide over the curb there, and we're just going to gather it up but we're looking to close into the back of the 12th place driver. Things are looking quite good for us right now. Not quite making the most of the start of the race. We're having to avoid a couple of drivers, but it looks like the pack is starting to gather up there as we throw it into Big Banky Boy. Aggressive on turning and aggressive on throttle is what you need. And certainly when the qualifying laps are being held, with no fuel in the car on the soft tyres, the car feels insane to drive. It's got so much grip. And I think to get a really good qualifying time, you have to drive incredibly aggressively. And that's not really my style. I'm not really suited to a super aggressive style. As we're going to close into the back of the French driver ahead now, I think maybe starting to battle with 11th and 12th. And we're going to start to, I think we're going to pit. Now, asking 7 laps of the soft tyres is quite a big amount to do, but I think we can get it done. Certainly if we try and drive to preserve the tyres, we're going to start to get stuck behind these drivers here. So yeah, for sure, we're going to pit this lap, and we're going to take on the soft tyres, get rid of these mediums. Served as well so far, missing the apex completely. Very difficult to get the car stopped into that hairpin corner. So we're going to throw it into the pit lane, fast forward the pit animation. I think the pit loss is around 15 seconds, 14 to 15 seconds. And we're going to pit out now. Brand new soft tyres. They will be cold, and we need to make sure we don't run too wide. If you clip the, oh God, we've just clipped the inside corner there, being conscious not to run wide, which has thrown the car wide, and that's resulted in an absolute failure of a turn 1. Tyres are dirty and cold as we're trying to keep the car under control for these corners here. This is not an ideal pit exit. We are running dead last. It looks like a couple of cars have quit, but hopefully by now we are running with a bit more temperature in the tyres, as we're going to throw it into Big Banky Boy. Yellow flags ahead, and we've gained a position there. That's another driver quitting. And I think, as you see, as the race progresses now, it's going to be a race of attrition. It is going to be where a lot of the drivers would have started on soft tyres. They're going to be switching to mediums, and they're going to have a lot less grip than they expect to have. Mistakes start to creep in, and then hopefully we can capitalise. As we're now on the faster tyre, we're going to be looking at putting some solid laps, plenty of free track ahead. And we can now switch to a little bit of interlude between Raz and Sardinon. They're going down the main straight as we're continuing round ahead, and they're going to go into turn 1. Right now, Raz is on the medium tyres, the car behind is on the soft tyres, and they're going to get together, a slight nudge, and then Raz is going to go right through the grass. Managed to avoid that barrier there and gathers it up there. He's going to have dirt on his tyres. He's going to get mugged off by his countryman around the sweeping section there. And Raz is really suffering. The dirt on his tyres. And now he's going to get assisted to a wide line there to gather more dirt. And Raz is having an absolute nightmare of a lap here. Really through no fault of his own. A little bit of a rear bump, sending wide into turn 1. And it's just cascaded from there. And yeah, Raz is really kind of, he needs to get his race back in track. We're going to switch back to ourselves. We'll let them carry on with their thing. So Raz is dropped down to 5th. I think Raz was maybe on pole. I can't remember who was on pole. Let me know in the comments below, because I can't remember. So we're running in 14th. We now managed to close into the back of 13th place. Another Italian driver. Home GP for these Italian drivers. Lago Maggiore is, of course, in Italy. Maybe they've got some home track advantage. Been here practicing the week before, maybe. As we're going to go purple in the sector there, fastest sector of the race. And we're going to close in massively to the back of the Italian driver, and we're just going to run it right around the outside. I don't know if he let us go there, but we've got that move done. Perhaps with the old penalty system, we would have been served with a penalty. Luckily, they seem to have just basically turned the penalties off now, it seems. So we're going to still continue to go purple, losing a little less time, or a little more time, as we see people now starting to pit. They were on the soft tyres, someone else on the medium tyres. We're now going to start to follow through towards the end of this lap number 5. Other drivers pitting, so we're currently in 13th. Where will we come out after we cross the line and clear those drivers in the pits? So we're going to start in 13th. More drivers pitting now. Looks like 9th place maybe. And we're going to go into turn 1, 9th place. So we've gained 4 positions through drivers pitting. Skipping forwards now, 1 more lap. More drivers pitting, and we're going to avoid that wall on the left hand side. Super dangerous wall. Don't hit that wall is my best advice. Drivers have seemed to have come out ahead of us on the pit stop, so we've gained, I think, maybe 1 position now, but we still have the faster tyre, as we're going to close into the back of 6th and 7th. They're going to be battling hard, it seems, incredibly hard, and they're going to get all up into each other's grills, and side by side. Italian driver across the grass into the French driver. They're going to spin, both going to spin, and we're going to capitalise. They're 2 for 1. We're just going to keep ourselves clean of any battles and take the opportunities where we can. Into Big Banky Boy with skip forward. Another car has managed to crash out there. That looks like that was Raz? Was that Raz? Yeah, that was Raz. So he's had an absolute nightmare coming out of Big Banky Boy, and we're now up to 5th position. Lap number 8, 2 to go, and we are closing in on the leaders. We're now looking at the gap to the leaders back to 11 seconds. So we've now, through all the events of the race, back to 11 seconds behind the leaders, and we're on the faster tyre, as we're going to look to get some consistent laps going in. The aim is to be driving fast but safe. There's no need to be making mistakes, and we're going to capitalise on any of the mistakes that might happen ahead. 11 seconds is too much to catch. Oh, yellow flags ahead, so we're going to go around this left-hander. What we're going to see here, the German driver has had an absolute nightmare. He's back on the grass, so we're going to get that position for free. So yeah, 11 seconds. It's now 10 seconds now. That's too much to make up on pace, certainly at this late stage of the race, but as we've been seeing, mistakes can happen, but mostly they didn't. So we're going to finish in 4th position from the back of the grid. Let me know what you think of that race in the comments below. If you have enjoyed the video, hit the like button. Hold on, wait a minute, I finished 3rd. It looks like the guy, the Spanish driver, did not follow the pit stop rules, and 1 minute penalty, which promotes us to 3rd place. Unbelievable. I actually did not even realise this until doing the edit. I thought I finished 4th. Oh, that's fantastic. Anyway, I'll finish what I was saying. If you have enjoyed the video, consider liking, consider subscribing. Everything's always appreciated, and we'll see you in the next one.